All right, hey, this is Hans, and it's time for the Ramen Raiders Healthy Options List 2020 edition. All right, so you might have noticed this isn't a top 10 list because there's really no order and not everything is noodles. So these are things that I have found through my journeys through instant noodles and otherwise, things that might interest you and might be up your alley, so let's check them out. So this year I discovered a low-calorie variety of noodle called Konjac, or it's spelled Konjac or Konyak. It's Konjac noodle. That's what I call it. Anyways, they're super duper low calorie. I mean, I think they're pretty much like 0 calorie, okay? So a couple companies have done things with this stuff. And the first one I want to talk about is Yamachan. Yamachan is well known for their high-end restaurant quality ramen noodles. You find them in the refrigerated section a lot of the time. Good stuff, right? Well, they've made this stuff called Ramen Z. And Ramen Z is made with Konjac noodle. And this stuff is super low calorie. I want to say it's like 150 calories for a whole bowl of it. Now they've got a miso, which I tried, and it was quite good. I was very impressed with it. The tonkatsu I have not tried, and I'm looking forward to. I know I'm going to try that one soon. So yeah, you find these. It's a totally different kind of noodle. If they go and make it with the right gauge. That has everything to do. I've had Konjac noodle that was too thick, and it's like you're chewing on a rubber band. It's horrible. But this was just right, and it worked really well. So yeah, something to try. Okay, a lot of you are very concerned with sodium. I have people constantly sending me emails saying like, so what's a good low sodium ramen that I can try? How do I make my own broth and make it low sodium? This and that and the other thing. Well, there's a product from a company called NewTek called Salt for Life. This stuff has way less sodium than your normal table salt. It's made with potassium chloride and sea salt. So potassium chloride, there's a couple products on the market that are just that. Oh, and it's nasty. It's bitter, it's funky. This stuff, they just meld these things together just right. And it's lighter, and the cool thing about potassium is that it doesn't go from hitting your tongue to giving you that salty as fast as salt does. So, for example, I went to the company and I did a taste test a while back, a couple years ago, and they had chicken strips, like your standard fried, battered chicken strips, and the chicken had been marinated in a teriyaki sauce, right? Well, the one that was made with salt, it was the first thing you tasted was saltiness. They told me afterwards about the teriyaki sauce, after I tried the second one. The second one, I tasted the teriyaki sauce. They're like, do you taste anything different? I'm like, yeah, it's not as sharp. It's not as like acidic. And that's the one thing I noticed about this stuff. You can use it also with things like, I use it with, when I bake chicken all the time. I'll take one seasoning that's not extremely salty and then add this stuff, and it's so much better than just adding table salt to it, and it's less sodium. So if that's something that's a concern of yours, look up NewTek's Salt for Life. Next up, if you are trying to get a well-rounded meal but you want it to be ramen, you need to check out Veit Ramen, because they've got a product that does exactly that. So a couple guys, Tim and Tom, they're brothers, and they had the thoughts like, hey man, I eat ramen all the time and you eat all this super healthy stuff. Why don't we get together, come up with a product that fuses the two, right? So they came up with Veit Ramen. They started out with a Kickstarter campaign that did incredibly well. They have now a product that is a noodle and seasonings that make a noodle and soup. Now, the rundown is the whole thing is 500 calories, right? It's got 500 milligrams of sodium. If it's not salty enough for you, add some soy sauce is what they say. It has 20 to 30, I believe, grams of protein. It's got a ton of fiber. It has basically all the vitamins and nutrients that you would find in a protein drink, like a protein powder, right? Those like, you know, a protein drink has like tons of vitamins and stuff, and it has like, yeah, it's like super duper healthy stuff. And if you want to eat ramen all day, you could eat 3 of them. And it'd be pretty hard because they're very filling. And they're really good. So, yeah, check them out. They're easy to find. You're going to have to buy them on their website, though, because they don't sell them in stores. But, yeah, cool stuff. So there's a couple from Japan of these cup noodles that are really low calorie and really, really good. You've got Cup Noodles Nice, and then you have Cup Noodles Light Plus. The Nice comes, I believe there's a kimchi variety, pork and kimchi, and then there's a shoyu. Yeah. And then there's the Light Plus, and there's a ton of different varieties. Both of these ranges have had entries that have been on the top 10 cups list. So that's how much I like them. And they're, I believe, between 150 and 175 calories, which is extremely low. And they use a different kind of noodle, but the noodle's so good, I don't know why they just don't use that noodle in everything. So, yeah, give that one a try. It's in Japan. You might be able to find it on eBay or Amazon and get some that way. So now coming back to the Konjac noodle, there is a company out of Indonesia called Fit Me. M-E-E, it means noodle in Indonesia. Anyways. So Fit Me has 2 varieties. One is 150 calories. One is 56 calories, I believe is the number. The 150 calorie one is it's kind of a knockoff of the fire noodle, and it's pretty darn good. It's got all the stuff going there. It's ultra spicy. And then there is an Indonesian soto flavor, which is kind of like this one is kind of a coconut, lime, and spicy, and slight, kind of like a beef. So this stuff is super good. It's ultra low calorie. What you see there was really low calorie. All garnished and everything, really low. So if you really want to eat lots of noodles but you don't want all the calories, this stuff's the way to go. And I hear that they're going to be in the US soon, but you can get it on Amazon. It's a little pricey, but I'm telling you what, this stuff's good. And again, it's all about the gauge for Konjac noodle. These guys have it down, so yeah. So a company I've been working with a lot in this last year is named Hakuba, and they make all sorts of things. They make ramen. They have a shoyu and a tonkatsu that you can find easy on Amazon, and it's absolutely wonderful stuff. It's like a fresh, shelf-stable noodle. You don't have to refrigerate it. It's good. It's very, very good. They also have barley tea. They have baby noodles. They're like noodles that very small children can have. They're short and there's like no chemicals or fillers or any of that kind of stuff. And then they have this stuff that they turned me on to called mochi barley. Pearled Japanese mochi barley. And I love it. In my whole diet regimen that I started last October, I've been having this the majority of the time. They've been kind enough to furnish me with tons of it. Thank you so much. Instead of rice, this stuff does in a pinch, and it's got all these different health benefits. It's got tons of fiber. So the reason I started my whole diet was because I had high cholesterol, and this stuff is like a broom for cholesterol. I've had it, what I usually do is I'll take like a can of Progresso soup, cook it up, put this stuff in it, put a lid on it, let it sit for 20 minutes, it's all done. You cook it kind of like pasta. But yeah, It's really good, and I would definitely say that this had a big part in the whole cholesterol lowering thing. So look it up. It's worth a try. All their stuff is quite good. So yeah, check it out. And if you're looking for a less fat noodle, you can look to Coco of Singapore. They don't fry their noodles. There are a lot of places that don't, but these are interesting because usually when you have a non-fried noodle block, like that, you know, that looks like an instant noodle block, there's one thing you can't do with it. You couldn't just like take it and take a bite out of it, right? You could, but it'd be like horribly dry and hard and blah, bust your teeth. This stuff you can. They've done it in such a way that it's just like a really, really light. There's no oil in it. So you've got these ultralight noodle blocks, and the flavors are great. They've got like curry and tomato, laksa Singapura, tons of good flavors of it. You should be able to find this one pretty easy. And yeah, good stuff. I've loved it for years, and definitely a good one. Lower calorie, really good. So if you're one of those people that's like, I don't know what that ingredient is, I don't want to eat it, you might want to check out Taiwanese Dry Noodles. Now, of course, there's a lot of different varieties, and by a lot, I mean a whole lot. But Taiwanese Dry Noodles, a lot of the time, the noodles, the ingredients, water, flour, salt. That's it. Nothing else. You might have ones that are infused, so maybe like water, flour, salt, pumpkin. And the seasonings that go with them, because you cook them, you drain them, you put these little sauces and stuff on them. A lot of the time the sauces will be like soy sauce, scallion oil, pepper oil. That's it. You know, so there's like very few ingredients. Some brands you might want to check out are Mom's Dry Noodle, Zeng Noodle, 3 meters. Basically, look at my top 10 Taiwanese list, and the ones that are dry noodles, you'll definitely see the difference. And those are the ones that I would think, if you're looking for a lower calorie, one that has fewer ingredients, is more of a simple food, that's what you're looking to. And I've always called the Taiwanese dry noodles Taiwanese are just masters of simplicity. You take a few ingredients and make something that's just so good. So yeah, that's an option. And finally, there's the vegan crowd, right? So there are a couple varieties that I would say that I really enjoy. One of them is by Nongshim, and it's called Sun Veggie Noodles. And they have a little seal that says it's been vetted by this vegan organization. And they also have a kimchi noodle, which has the same. So those two are really, really nice flavors, really bright and punchy flavors that I liked a lot. All right, so if you guys have any recommendations or things that I should try, or things maybe that I missed, please drop me a line, because I think I want to try doing this every year. Keep trying new things that are more a healthy way, you know? And yeah, I mean, why not? I've been doing this diet for almost a year, and it's made a difference. So the more healthy stuff I put in, the healthier I seem to get. So something to think about. And hey, this has been Hans the Ramen Raider, wishing you enjoyment of your noodles every day. Have a good one. Bye.